Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Things are moving, of course, in relation to the new Chelsea manager. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Pochettino, Vincent Kompany, or the secret third candidate? Dun, dun, dun. We'll be citing an article from The Athletic by Simon Johnston and more, talking about what actually happened with Enrique, Nagelsmann, why Pochettino tops the list, and we can talk about the secret candidate as well. So strap yourselves in, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate all your interactions, like your clicky likes, your likey clicks, and your subscriptions. And should you choose to subscribe to this channel, of which you are most welcome to join, then I recommend, my friend, you hit that sweet, sweet bell. Alright then, let's not mess about, let's jump straight into it. Chelsea's head coach options, why Pochettino tops the list and Nagelsmann is out of the picture. Let's see, shall we? Another day brought yet more twists in Chelsea's search for a new head coach. Mauricio Pochettino has emerged as the leading candidate to fill the role vacated last month by Graham Potter. Julian Nagelsmann, much fancied and available following his March departure from Bayern Munich, has dropped out of contention and has joined Luis Enrique, another candidate perceived to be very much in the reckoning earlier in the process, on the periphery. Essentially, Enrique and Nagelsmann out of the race. Just why Bayern Munich was mentioned, Anthony Barry has gone. For those of you who are wondering, that's right, our set-piece coach has left and he's been pictured at Bayern Munich in the Bayern Munich training gear with former colleague Thomas Tuchel. So that's done. You know, then that's really all we can say about that. But yeah, it's worth mentioning. It's not really a big story. We knew it was going to happen. Vincent Kompany has also been revealed as a potential contender, fresh from steering Burnley back to the Premier League first time of asking. Chelsea, their own 2023 season, now reduced to the dissatisfaction of mid-table, will continue the remaining 7 games under interim stewardship of Frank Lampard, but still aim to make an appointment before the finale of the May 28th to lift the mood. Yeah. More clarity is expected in days rather than weeks. Well, clarity is what we haven't had for a long time in every part of the club. So, what is the current situation? Why is Pochettino, a former Tottenham Hotspur manager, suddenly established himself as the leading candidate to lead one of the biggest rivals, while Nagelsmann has dropped out of contention? And where does Kompany fit into this? Well, let's dive in and let's The Athletic explain. So, okay, how many are on the shortlist and who are they? 3 people lead the way: Pochettino, Kompany, and one highly rated candidate whose identity Chelsea have managed to keep secret so far, and they refuse to comment on. So saith Matt Law from The Telegraph as well. So everyone's like, ooh, it's a mystery. There are other coaches ranked below that trio whom the club like, but whom are yet to complete proper due diligence. That's probably like your Ruben Amorim's of this world. There remains the possibility the club could speak to them in the coming weeks. An illustration of just how swiftly the story is moving. Nagelsmann was being spoken to about as a prominent name of a four-strong shortlist earlier on Friday. Then later in the day, he was considered to be no longer in the frame. It's not like Chelsea to move quickly and things to go all over the gaff, is it? Lol. So, why is Pochettino considered the leading candidate? In short, he ticks a lot of Chelsea's boxes. The Argentinian has coached in the Premier League before, tick, has worked with star players at Tottenham, and more recently Paris Saint-Germain. True, but for me, I think he failed at Paris Saint-Germain. We'll die on that hill. If you don't win the league, and if you get that super summer of signings and do so bad in the Champions League, you're a flop. I'm sorry, mate. He helped youngsters develop to big major names, principal among the latter, Harry Kane. Bang! That's the sort of headshot here, the bullseye. Yes, he has. He's brought the best out of young players, and this is a big ticky box for Chelsea because they've bought an army of young players who they deem the best talents in world football, and he is quite appropriate to coach them. So, am I feeling myself coming around a little bit? Maybe. Chelsea admire the work Pochettino did across London. He spent 5 years at Spurs, built them into a good team, true. Took them to the Champions League final, yeah. He's experienced with the top 5 domestic leagues, in Spain, Espanyol, Southampton and Tottenham in Prem, and of course PSG in Ligue 1. Pochettino may have only won the Ligue 1 Championship and French Cup as manager so far, but he's seen as hungry with the potential to develop and become even better, rather than a figure who might rest on past achievements. But come on, bruv. There's not many past achievements. There is an appreciation for his tactical nous. Yes, and he does have tactical nous, to be fair to him. So, hot dog, what happened to Nagelsmann? We're all wondering. Well, it's complicated. This is Chelsea after all, and there's 2 sides to every story. There is no denying Nagelsmann was of interest to Chelsea. His reputation was established in Germany when he had worked with Chelsea's co-sporting director Lawrence Stewart and technical director Christopher Vivell early in his career when they were all at RB Leipzig together. #mates. Having been sacked by Bayern Munich in March, technically he's on gardening leave and still being paid by Bundesliga champions. The German met Chelsea officials recently in for an initial round of talks, and they were held outside England. Also, it was reported by Romano that there wouldn't have been a problem with compensation to get him out. And I guess Anthony Barry, smiling on the other side, kind of, enforces that idea. The sense was those discussions went well. There were plans for a second meet-up in London, though that did not materialise. As Nagelsmann decided Chelsea were not right for him. He rejected us. I mean, we are a mess. The 35-year-old ultimately had doubts about this setup, and surely not. He would be joining. He made the decision to pull out on Thursday, even if it took 24 hours for that to become public knowledge. All right, so how did the situation develop? Is that how Chelsea saw it develop? So yeah, this is the 2 sides to the story. No, sources, basically this is everyone trying to save face and not look bad. So sources connected to Chelsea spoke to The Athletic on the condition that they stay anonymous as per have a different picture. Chelsea have always made it clear that this would be a thorough and exhaustive process. There is a determination not to rush the appointment, which is good, in the same way when they basically got Potter. The circumstances at Chelsea is different this time around. Back then, the club's co-owners, Bowley and Igbali, were overseeing the whole process. They had only completed the takeover months. Yeah, basically now we have Stuart Winstanley leading the hunt, which are the sporting directors. As far as Chelsea are concerned, they decided Nagelsmann was not quite right for them. I dumped you. No, I dumped you. Lol. So why has he gone from the contender out of the race completely? Chelsea never regarded him as their first choice. Ooh la la! That's not what Fabrizio Romano said. Conflicting big journos saying different things. There's a possibility Nagelsmann had the wrong impression that the club were going to make a swift appointment and maybe read too much into that. Fair enough. While the achievements and management is respected, Nagelsmann, Chelsea questioned why Bayern chose to dismiss him at such a key time in the season, less than 3 weeks before their quarter-final. Yeah, but maybe that was just a mistake, maybe that was just a mistake. Chelsea are exploring each candidate's leadership ability, how they would work within the current setup. Yeah, I mean, this is big, to be honest. That's real important. Their ability as tacticians, because, look, tactical ability isn't enough. But it's not. Being a nice guy clearly isn't enough, because Potter's a good tactician and a nice guy. Sarri, one of the best, philosophical managers ever in terms of his ethos, philosophy. Look at his Lazio team now. Now they're playing Sarri ball, like his original Napoli. Didn't really happen at Chelsea, but he's good. But because he didn't have all the stuff in between, the minerals to get into the players, it's not always enough. Love isn't always enough, baby girl. He was also... He'd only ever coached in Germany. Yeah, but whatever. He's done well in the Champions League, speaks English. Anyway, it's over. Let's move away from Nagelsmann. So why have they turned to Pochettino instead? Chelsea actually ranked Pochettino above Nagelsmann from the get-go. Ha! Cynics will understandably question that as rather convenient now the chairman is out of the picture. But it's worth remembering this is the 3rd time Pochettino has come under consideration at Stamford Bridge. Of course. He nearly got hired instead of Thomas Tuchel. Thank God we got Tuchel because we won the Champions League. Even more significantly, Bowley and Igbali have interviewed him. Obviously, they were going to well, not necessarily hire him, but they interviewed him prior to getting Graham Potter. So it's the third time they keep talking to him, essentially. They have revisited that in recent weeks. There's been more talks of Pochettino, who was thought to have impressed Chelsea. The Athletic have been told he mentioned a few of the players in the current squad would like to be a part of his plans next season if granted the chance to take over. That should be there should not be misconstrued with Chelsea having to decided to go with him, and it's done, essentially. Also, Matt Law did some stuff about, worked in England, develops young players, and also a worthy, notable part of his, my brain just abandoned me from English there. Something that he's overseen before is a stadium change, is what I'm trying to say, and that's what we're trying to do. So, him being a Tottenham manager upset Chelsea fans. It's not seen as a major obstacle. It's much clear from the fact that he's still in the running. Pochettino's managerial track record is important. Yeah, Glenn Hoddle obviously as well managed Tottenham. So are other clubs interested in Pochettino? Tottenham have been linked with rehiring their former coach for a second spell in charge as they look for a successor for Conte, but they have made no contact with Pochettino and they're not expected to, which blows my mind really. I guess that's all down to Levy, because Levy canned him, and he probably doesn't want to go back. But that would be a massive win with the Tottenham fans, who, by the way, are all really not happy right now. So that's very interesting. Yet Chelsea can still face competition from a number of other suitors, including Real Madrid. We've spoken about Poch to Madrid before. Although I think Ancelotti will stay next season, personally. What happened with Luis Enrique? The former Spain national team manager did talk to Chelsea, made a positive impression, but there were concerns he had not managed the club since leaving Barcelona. That is true. There's also other reports suggesting that he made all these unreasonable demands. Maybe, I heard that. So how strong is Vincent Kompany's case? The weird, left field shout. It does seem a bit of a strange one, given Potter found the jump from a fellow Premier League side Brighton to Chelsea too much. Yet Chelsea had thought to seriously consider Kompany. The 37-year-old former Belgium international has done very well in his 2 posts so far. I thought he did bad at Anderlecht. He helps the latter win promotion to the Premier League from the Championship, Burnley, in good style as well. He does deserve respect. When people go, ugh, Vincent Kompany, they need to think, he's done really well. I mean, yes, it's inappropriate, it's too early. But he is, and I'm not one for bigging up rival teams' captains, but Vincent Kompany's a top boy. He's a top boy, and seemingly he's going to be a good manager. But I don't know, man. That said, all candidates being judged to their ability as leaders, their characters mean something, and in that regard, Kompany is very much appreciated. The fact he was it's basically kind of like John Terry doing amazing, winning promotion with a championship club and playing attacking football, but being that leader, kind of. Obviously, imagine, but John Terry's got the link to Chelsea, but it's that kind of vibe, that kind of character. The fact that he was such an inspirational player, particularly at Man City, and he captained and won 10 major trophies in 11 years, considered, yeah, exactly. He's also coached by Pep Guardiola, and for his final 3 years at City, for his final 3 years at City. Chelsea see parallels with Mikel Arteta, who under Guardiola, assistant, yeah, it's still a bit of a reach, innit? I still think all of that's a bit of a reach. So what of this mysterious third candidate? Well, a lot of people have been talking. People have been thinking, it's got to be Jose Mourinho. It's got to be Hansi Flick. Firstly, Mourinho is a big no-no for me. You know that. I'm not going to go into the details of why I feel like that, but I feel like it's very, very short-term and could implode after months and cost loads of money. It'd just be silly. It'd be top banter box office, but yeah, silly. All the best to Jose. I hope he wins the Europa League with Roma and then wins the Champions League with Roma and does the 3 in the order. That would be amazing. But yeah, he's not the one for Chelsea. Hansi Flick, I'd like that. I think. I know he's German manager and he's not doing amazing with them, but his treble-winning Bayern Munich is one of the best club sides I've ever seen. Obviously, they touched us up 7-1 in aggregate in the Champions League, I believe it was. Something like that. I mean, they were just insane. Obviously, Bayern haven't been as good since his Bayern Munich. But when he comes to Chelsea, I don't know. But these theories flying around is about to be debunked, I guess, by this final statement here from The Athletic regarding this secret third candidate. This contender, whose identity is yet to be revealed, has made a name for himself as being tactically astute, here it comes, in a perceived lesser league, and is thought to be the least likely of the candidates. So a perceived lesser league means not the Premier League, and a perceived lesser league, I guess, wouldn't be a top 5 league, so it could be like Ruben Amorim, but we would know if it was him. Or it could be like someone in the Eredivisie or Liga NOS. That's what like jumps out at me. The sense is Pochettino is emerging as the favourite to take over in the summer. He would want to complete his own due diligence before committing to the role, but the process is undoubtedly moving along. Interesting, the fact how the third and secret candidate is still being spoken about but not being spoken about kind of means like there's someone probably there. And if something happens with Poch, maybe this secret guy emerges and we find out who it is. Pretty interesting. I'm really interested in the developments, even from I'm trying to remove myself as a Chelsea fan, having like a profound concern about how my club is moving, and just sort of really like curiously look at what is an intriguing situation, because otherwise I'll just get worried and sad. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. I always love reading your comments. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for leaving a like, and thank you for subscribing to Football Therapy, as you are welcome. Turn the bell on because I upload all the time. Who knows, there might be another video later today. So turn the bell on. See you soon, guys. Peace.